You're watching this week's show with Dan and Mike.
This week's show podcast.
It's all about wrestling today.
We actually decided to mix things up a little bit because normally we do like a post show, don't we?
Yes.
And this time, because we had some time to do it and because things have got rather exciting of late, we thought we would do sort of the match card of Survivor Series, but with who we think is going to win. And
then it means you have to either watch it or tune in next week and we'll tell you.
Yes, so we will find out how right we are. But also, we thought that we'd treat this a little bit like we do our deep dives, where find out a little bit of history, because it was something that we both picked up on in Cody's rant, where he was saying it was the birthright. So we looked into that.
That was on last week's Raw?
Yes,
SmackDown? Raw.
One of the two.
They're both the same, aren't they? I really can't tell the difference between the two besides the day I watched them on, because wrestlers from Raw end up on SmackDown and vice versa, so you might as well just have... the way I just see it is just like there's pre-weekend and after weekend.
I think for the most part, just to explain, is it's what titles you can go for outside of Wargames, where they intermingle again, outside of the draft, where everybody gets switched about. But it's like, for the moment, Chelsea Green being the US women's champion, she can't go for Intercontinental until she moved to that brand.
Oh, okay.
So it's a bit like what you can compete for, who your matches are going to be against. So obviously we got the US Open Championship for the male US one.
Ilja
Dragunov.
He's quite cool. I quite enjoy him.
Genuinely, and it's a mark of how good he is. Some of the stuff that he comes up with, like doing a suplex onto the ropes and falling out the ring, all planned, brilliantly executed, still made me feel really uncomfortable. It's a bit like when Bron Breakker speared the announce desk. Do you remember that one? And somebody just jumped out of the way and it looked like he had the corner go straight into his face. These guys these days, like, the choreographing into making it look like the Attitude Era, but without the damage of the Attitude Era, insane. So for the US Open Title Championship thing that they're doing at the moment, only SmackDown wrestlers can put themselves forward for that for the most part. Though they did bend the rules slightly in this time, which is why you had JD McDonough, the bobblehead.
Yeah, that's because he was there as support for Finn Balor in the last time as now.
So that's and they they do intermingle it on purpose to stop brand getting boring, basically. But yeah, you are right. There's not like a huge amount of difference apart from who can compete for what at a given time, and that's about it. There used to be segment differences, so they said that the SmackDown's going back up to 3 hours.
Yeah, but apparently that's just to incorporate an extra 45 minutes of yeeting.
Even though currently he's on the Raw brand, they need the 45 minutes on the other show just to be able to make sure that there's enough.
Bleeds over. Well, they start yeeting on a Friday night and they're still doing it on Raw on a Monday night.
But that will determine the amount of segments that you can get. But they mix it up and down depending on TV contracts. So because SmackDown in the US is still hosted on a TV channel rather than hosted on Netflix, that's why that's 2 hours at the moment, and then they've agreed to have 3 hours on that channel, and then it will go to 3 hours for us. Raw is obviously just Netflix across the world, but they're keeping it...
It's on ESPN as well, isn't it?
No, ESPN's the pay-per-views.
That's just pay-per-views.
Pay-per-views. So they can extend it if they want to, but they're also... One of the points from Unreal is that they are still under contract to make a show of a certain length, and then that's why you get
it's the same as AEW. They're under contract for TV rights and stuff as well.
And there's some very fun stories of back when Vince McMahon was in charge and he was like minute perfect often with his timings.
You get fined if you go over.
Apart from a really good story from Bubba Ray, so the Dudley Boys, they'd had their... You might have seen
had their final fight.
Yeah, when they gave their boots to the Hardys.
Yeah.
Really cool moment. Because...
Apparently Cena's going to do that with his jorts.
Well, Brock nearly did it with his trousers the other day.
He did, didn't he?
But no, the Dudley Boys, they had this massive invasion storyline thing that they did, and they went over 5 minutes. And they went through with a guy called Maven, Attitude Era guy, like what happens if you're a minute late? What happens if you're 2? we did 5. And apparently as they walked through the curtain to get into Gorilla, Vince McMahon right there, and he went, if you're going to run over on my show, make sure it's as good as that. And I think that's what people have forgotten that was great about Vince, is if you did something good, then you wouldn't necessarily get in trouble. And but the problem is that what was deemed as being good, and the famous story of The Undertaker and Triple H having blood in the ring when they weren't meant to. And even the son-in-law of the owner got fined for that. Because he was the one that was trying to tick all the TV contract boxes to make it PG. So there's often reasons why things happen, and that's what Unreal is really nice to watch and find out why certain things have to happen certain ways. We know that obviously storylines change in injury, but depending on whether it's on Raw, ESPN, wherever SmackDown's hosted in America, there are different sort of regulation rules. Anyway, the thing that interested us about Cody and Chad is the birthright comment.
Yes.
Because I was like, okay, but I don't remember Dusty Rhodes being involved with Survivor Series. Turns out that
he invented Wargames.
But the same year as Survivor Series, was it? 2 separate entities, but they were both invented in '87. I love the fact that Dusty Rhodes came up with this off of a Mad Max inspiration as well. That's so cool. And so it's lovely to see, but we delve deep like we do with a deep dive into some of the history. So Wargames has been a mainstay on WCW before it came across. You've had Wargames be an annual event in NXT until it became a full roster WWE event. And interestingly enough, Survivor Series has just been a yearly event, one of the big 5, so Mania, Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, those types of things. But the link partly to Wargames is obviously that was a WCW thing. Now, one of my earliest runs of watching WWE was sort of 99 to 2001. It was about 2 years. And when the WWE or Vince, whichever way you want to look at it, bought WCW out, they finally, WCW had lost Monday Night War. They were failing in the ratings, so the WWE were finally able to buy it off of, I think it was Ted, whoever was owning it at the time. And they turned Survivor Series into the end of that storyline where they had an alliance of WCW and ECW wrestlers facing WWE wrestlers.
Yep.
Alliance storyline. Surprisingly enough, WWE won that storyline.
Funny that.
But if you were to look at the wrestlers either side of that big alliance storyline match on the main event of that Survivor Series, you've got Rock on full-time roster, you've got Stone Cold on full-time roster, Kurt Angle, and then it was the start of Booker T becoming a big wrestler in the WWE. All of these really cool things that happened. And then Survivor Series didn't have much of an identity for a few years after that. It was around 2016, I think it was, that they started doing brand supremacy.
Yes.
Funnily enough, what we just talked about is Raw versus SmackDown. And Mike made a very good point whilst I was explaining this, going, but how could you tell? And wrestling fans will remember the really bad branded t-shirts where it's literally a bright red t-shirt with just Raw written on it, or a bright blue t-shirt with just SmackDown written on it. And there was nothing worse for character identity than wearing these damn t-shirts.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because you had people like Undertaker and Kane in brand t-shirts.
Oh dear.
And it just looked so strange. Obviously, the one person it didn't look strange on was Cena, because you just
he wears a t-shirt anyway.
Exactly, yeah.
Goes well with jorts.
Exactly. But then they changed it to Wargames in 2022. It's a Triple H thing, combining Survivor Series with Wargames to create Survivor Series Wargames that we have now. It's where the introduction of the female Wargames came in as well. So you've got the male Wargames, female Wargames, always at Survivor Series. And that leads us on to this year, which is a bit different to last year, because last year we had Wargames where there was one clear side of, with the male one particularly, one clear side that needed to be face down, which was Solo's sort of crew.
Right.
And then it was everybody that was facing this fake bloodline, now called MFTs with a bit of Halloween makeup.
They do look much better with the makeup.
To be honest, it's the fact that the guys that were struggling with looking right in the background, so Tala, the tall guy, Tonga, and JC Mateo, they're still getting used to like that TV presence and having to think all the time, and giving them a bit of makeup to hide behind, it makes them look so much more confident, and it makes them look like the badass team that they're meant to be.
Yeah.
Whereas when those two were like, 'cause it's when you get caught in the background on camera and you're not thinking about looking like aggressive and you're just thinking about the next thing you need to do, like they wouldn't look like they were in mode. Whereas now,
Well, it's like Solo is always laughing, isn't he? When he thinks the camera's not on him, but he's having a little giggle, or he's just like not.
Or bantering like with the crowd. He's so good. Like you see all the little fan filmed stuff of, like Solo, why are you so sweaty? Ask your mum. Like he's so good at it.
It's like he's a gang leader, boss, but he's also like a baby face as well.
I still see a really good baby face run for him coming. Because and I remember you sending me something going, I don't remember seeing this on TV, and it was where he was getting powerbombed through a table, and he was doing all of those like praying motions at the top of the powerbomb, and you're like, this what? I was like, no, it's a house show, just happened to be filmed. Solo's so funny on house shows, they're just letting it slowly build up until the storyline of the MFTs is done. But one of the funny things that he's done recently is they did the lemon in a glass of water challenge.
I saw that, yeah.
And everybody's trying to balance it. Solo, being the funny man that he is, looks at the coin and puts it in his pocket and just walks away. So stupid.
Every penny counts, I guess.
But so funny.
Yeah.
That just got me so hard. But yeah, last year there was like this blended team where Roman and CM Punk weren't getting on and stuff like that. A lot less than they are now. Whereas what you actually have this year, which is really quite fun to watch, is it's a naturally formed team of heels for the males and team of faces.
Yep.
But it's also the same for the female War Games, where it's a team of faces against a team of heels.
But because there's not a lot of females available to wrestle at the moment due to injuries, they've had to second her from NXT, haven't they?
Have they?
Yeah.
Oh, what, Lash Legend, you mean? Though Lash Legend's been lurking around for a while.
Yeah, she has, but she's definitely more NXT than WWE,
but
except for the last couple of weeks where she's come back with Nia.
But that's how Roxanne Perez and a couple others came up, is they didn't do it through the draft. Just we needed numbers on the main roster. They came up and now...
Well, that's the useful thing with NXT. If someone does go injured, then you can pull up from the youth squad, as they say in English football.
So we're talking last time is now tournament, weren't we?
Yes.
And it was... One of the reasons that we had to pause this is because I needed to check how I pronounce it. And I'm going to rely on Mike to pronounce something like I do on the radio show.
Siobhan Evans.
Yes.
He was really good, so acrobatic.
So Jack, one of the fans of this show, got me and manager Heidi to watch a NXT match where he was one part of a triple threat. Oh my God.
He's good.
It's so good that it actually is a bit like watching Carmelo versus Bronson. These high flyers now have so many skills in their arsenal to make it look like a believable fight, but it also just made Gunther look like the absolute bruiser that he is.
Yeah, his chops are solid, aren't they?
I mean, we talked about it before, but you can see post Sheamus versus Gunther.
Yeah, the welts and bruising.
Oh, like it's as bad as like prank channels, but yeah, that was an amazing little thing. And this is what, because we were talking just before we started this about some of the internet complaints about the Last Time Is Now tournament, and that not enough people have been brought in. But I immediately said to Mike, I was like, but if we only had NXT, TNA guys, then the Facebook complaint pages, as I like to put them, rather than fan pages, they would then complain that there's not enough people off the main roster in the Cena's this Last Time Is Now
tournament.
But
I can see why they're saying it, because it is very predictable. It's like it's all main roster guys that are on TV every week.
Yeah,
like,
I mean that is often...
Cena said he wanted it to promote new blood kind of thing.
Or old blood coming back, people that don't even work there.
And it doesn't really seem to be that in my eyes.
The problem is that you've got to have reliable main roster carrying a match if somebody's not necessarily done it there.
But I suppose on the night of the Saturday night
main event,
that's coming up, there is going to be a main eventer against a newbie.
Yes.
And it's all going to be demonstration games, and then the final match with Cena.
Yeah, because the whole of Saturday night main event is a Cena style setup thing. Yeah. Not only that, but we do have to work out who is going to replace Sheamus. Because that could be, there's a lot of internet people that want it to be Cesaro, which is an old, similar to Nick Nemeth being Dolph Ziggler, Matt Cardona being Zack Ryder. Cesaro's wrestling under a different name. I think he's either still active on AEW or he's in between contracts at the moment. But Cesaro was a unit back when I last watched it in like the Daniel Bryan post CM Punk era.
But you've also got Randy Orton that could come back. Mr. Joe Hendry.
Like, I swear, one day we're going to say his name, he's going to appear from behind my TV. So yeah, we don't know what that's going to look like, but I think this is also, it's better than it used to be, because if this was underneath, shall we say, the old booking management, a tournament of new talent, they would have like one person come out that was, you know, interesting, whereas we've had two guys that don't work for the company.
Yeah, they didn't win.
We've got NXT as well.
Didn't win.
Yeah, but the whole point is they're not necessarily meant to. It's about getting TV time against the name.
Yeah, I guess so.
So like Dolph Ziggler was like, no, he's like, I don't want to win. He's like, just coming back and having my music drop at WWE. Like,
it would be nice though to get one of those the guesting in to actually, you know, go through to the next round.
Yeah, but that's not the
Well, they're saying
business.
that Carmelo Hayes went through.
How good was that though? Because there was no way that Bronson could lose clean to Carmelo with their size difference and not make Bronson look weak going into Wargames.
You should have learned, you can't stay outside the ring. If you'd watched the Becky Lynch game, if you don't get in the ring within the 10 count, you're DQ'd.
I mean, what's brilliant is Bronson, and again, it's the whole like art of selling, is it genuinely looked like he was possibly going to get in on the count of 9 and then just to flop at the last second. The man is getting so good, and we're seeing also now, like, it's not just Bronson Reed who's getting more athletic and faster, but shout out to Nia Jax, because I remember when Nia featured on like every top 10 most dangerous wrestlers even. Like at one point she was known for being a bit dangerous in the ring. And she has worked so hard at firstly being safe to the point where in previous main events, I think even possibly Wargames or Elimination Chamber, she was criticised for putting so little power into her moves, they didn't look real. But that's somebody fighting being dangerous and going, well, I'm going to be super careful first. And then watching her come out on the main event of SmackDown where they just did that kind of smosh and introduced the fact that they've got AJ Lee and Becky Lynch as part of the teams. Like, she's sprinting from one side of the ring to the other side. So shout out to both Bronson Reed and Nia Jax for, at the point in your lives that you are, proving to yourselves as well as all the fans that you can change what you have been into something a lot better, because their wrestling is just getting better and better. And then seeing that confidence in either the wrestling or their promos coming out as well is awesome. But one of the things about Lash Legend, which I thought is, she's of a believable size to be a good feuder with Nia Jax, a good feuder with Jade Cargill, the new champion, even a good feuder with Rhea Ripley, combating what we were talking a few podcasts ago where you can't have, believably, Liv Morgan facing Nia Jax height-wise, you know? Or even worse, Alexa Bliss trying to make it look like she can rain down blows on Nia Jax. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, even against Lash, like Alexa Bliss was like just getting flung about outside the ring, wouldn't she? So just like, what?
And this has always been a thing with males. We're even talking about it with the tournament where, you know, Carmelo was looking good against Bronson from being clever. We're getting enough different size people in both genders and both brands where fights are becoming interesting and less, like, you can suspend your disbelief better when you have a Lash Legend versus a Jade Cargill, because they're kind of similar weight class.
Yeah.
And that's why
if it was UFC, they would be segregated by weight class. But then the top weight in UFC is capped as well, so you can't have super big kind
it's
of
like
guys.
that,
It's like
that heavily criticised match between Eddie Hall and two smaller guys.
Yeah.
Is all he needed to do was rain down an Eddie Hall blow once on each of them and they were out. Like
exactly. Yeah, it was more of an exhibition fight, but
well, it's not as bad as what Dana White was saying, because Dana White's the one from boxing, isn't it?
no, UFC.
UFC. But no, he had an opinion on boxing because he was telling Logan Paul and Jake Paul off for not facing guys of their own size.
Yeah, but now if you look at
Jake had to look up at his most recent opponent.
Yeah, he's fighting AJ, isn't he?
Not AJ Lee.
No.
Or AJ Styles.
No, Anthony Joshua,
Yes.
the British Olympic champion,
There we go.
and stands about 1.5 foot taller than the YouTuber.
He does. But
at
you
least
also get an idea of how big Logan Paul is, because he's towering over Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed.
That's part of the vision.
Yeah,
That means Anthony Joshua must be like
huge. I mean, also Drew McIntyre is
he's a big guy.
such a big guy.
Something we do we put it in the water here in the UK,
Yes.
don't we? We make big fellas.
But let's get back to our Wargames, because we're on one of the teams at the moment. How good is the Vision team, being Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, and Brock Lesnar? Like, that is a proper, believably difficult team to win against.
I could see them winning, to be fair, because the other team are
A bit.
sort of.
Well, we got the Usos.
Yeah, but they're.
One is a main eventer, one is Jimmy. Sorry, Jimmy, we love you and you're funny on TV.
I think the only real one that could reach sort of Brock Lesnar or Logan Paul would be Roman.
Though you say that,
he's a tall guy and can do the Superman punch from up there.
in kayfabe, Cody is the one that's beaten Brock most recently.
Yeah, that's true. But
So we're
just going on
size
and the meanness of the Vision. It would be nice for a heel to win a championship instead of a babyface.
Well, we do have a heel on one championship at least at the moment, because we've got Jade Cargill as a heel on the women's title.
I thought you were going to say Dirty Dom.
No, because he just lost it, didn't he? Intercontinental, that
Yeah.
is. He's still got his AAA Mega Campion.
And he won at the weekend as well.
Yeah.
Naturally. I always say that.
But no, I think the War Games is really, really good, because for once it doesn't feel like we're just people that aren't involved in other storylines. We've got some of the biggest guys on the roster doing the actual War Games fight.
Yeah.
And like you say,
And there's bound to be a couple of surprises.
as well, yeah. I completely agree with you. As much as I love the face team for who's in it, because I love Roman, I love Cody,
Yeah.
I love CM Punk, and I love the Usos, it still makes sense in my mind that when you combine the Vision with their newest member, Logan, Drew McIntyre being the absolute unit he is, and then Brock, you're going to have to do something pretty special. The heels can't lose clean. There's going to have to be some, sort of silliness, something screwing up the whole match. So are we making a call on this, on that we think the heels are going to win?
I think so.
Okay, so we're going to
I'd
say
like so, yeah.
heels win on Survivor Series War Games for the males. Females. So let's go back over who we got. So we got
I think the
Rhea.
That's Rio, isn't it? That's what
Rio.
But that's what the poster says in the audience.
We got Rio. We've got
RHYO.
Yeah, we've got the
Rio.
siblings of Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, because they give off sibling energy so much. It's great.
Yes, and Charlotte and Rhea have buried the hatchet.
Or at least, what I loved is they've gone, no, for the moment, I show respect, because if you're that worthy an opponent to me, you're the person I want to go to war with. I thought that was really well worded. And then obviously we've got AJ Lee, which is going to be really good for her as like the person, not the character, because it gives her a chance to intermingle with loads of really good workers and get her confidence back up. But just on a note on AJ Lee, something which I really respected of her, she came out to help Maxine Dupree get the title. Don't know if you realise this, and it had to be pointed out to me in a couple of memes, but as AJ knew that the first title hold and the pyro goes off, she noticed she steps completely out of shot, so that Maxine's by herself on her first ever title, and then steps back into shot to carry on what they are doing. But
then doesn't everyone do that? So you get that, it's the photo moment with the...
But it's the fact that she still remembers and still cares enough. Like, she's come back and she's back to being the good, caring wrestler. It's a bit like seeing CM Punk come back, and as he said, when I get a good employer, I play the game well. AJ Lee is clearly coming back and having fun, but remembering to make sure that it's put love on everybody else. But I love that because, again, it's this light and happy, funny team. I don't know if you caught it where Charlotte came in to save Alexa on Raw, and then Alexa and Charlotte were kind of stood there like doing that. Rhea and Io with the other side of the ring, and then Io just jumps into Rhea's arms like, oh, hello, and even Charlotte Flair had to giggle at how stupid those two's friendship is, because it's genuinely...
It's a weird one, isn't it?
But it's so wholesome to watch Rhea and Io just be this, like, and I love it because you wouldn't think of them, like, looking at the character styles, that they would ever have this relationship. But it's so naturally organic and stupid that I absolutely love it. I'm going to go the opposite way, where I think the faces are going to win.
Yeah, I think so.
So we're calling it on the female Wargames that it's the faces of Rhea, Rio, Charlotte and Alexa with AJ Lee. They're going to win this one, and it's going to be the heels that lose female Survivor Series Wargames.
Yeah, I think Lash and Nia will be the last two available, to
possibly
fight.
even Lash being the last one standing to give her some love because she's the NXT one.
And Becky will be the first one out, and then she can fake an injury, and then she's got Christmas and New Year off with her husband because he's off injured as well.
Yeah.
I called it. And then you've got Asuka, or how do you pronounce it?
Asuka, yeah.
And Kairi.
I mean,
they've just got vengeance against Io, but
as well as Rhea, like the whole thing.
It'd be an interesting one.
Yeah,
especially if Rhea's wearing the mask still because of her broken nose.
Well, she always seemed like, well, I say always, the last two War Games she's had to come out looking like a plague doctor, because last year she had her orbital fractured and was wearing the mask. Now it's a broken nose, but knowing what Rhea's like, it's either going to be Raw or SmackDown, where she takes off the face mask and goes, I don't need it, because that's what she did last year.
Talking of taking masks off, did you see in SmackDown?
Axiom
had...
Fraxium, yep.
Yeah, the mask ripped off by the...
Candice LeRae.
That's her name.
Yeah.
I was
part of
say
DIY.
Candy, but it's not.
No, it's Candice. That's a great storyline. We were actually talking about DIY and Fraxium when we were watching it. Is the tag division would be so much worse off if we didn't have those two teams in it at the moment, especially DIY, because Tommaso Ciampa, like, he sells every promo that he's in like it's his best promo in the world, which is fantastic. But yeah, the demasking, that's always like a big offence.
It is. That's why he covered his face and then he had the towel over his head.
I love that as well, because
you can't see me.
but I don't think that gets resolved at War Games. I think that's a SmackDown resolve that's going to do that one. A bit like that MFTs versus Sami Zayn's team.
Yeah.
Not the most invested in the storyline myself, but I've seen so much love because the style of promo that the Sami Zayn team did on SmackDown just gone, so old school. Like,
it was proper bros, wasn't it?
Yeah, and like where you have a leader does the first half, and then the second half is split into everybody. Yeah. And shout out to Shinsuke. Love the fact that he still does promos in his own language, because it sounds so good when he does it in his own language, and you don't need to know. That's the whole point. Wrestling's international. So that brings us to what is the only two other matches on the match card for Survivor Series currently. The
one match that will get the biggest cheer of the night.
What, Stephanie versus Nikki Bella? Bella Army. No.
Well, Nikki's going to win that.
You reckon?
Yeah.
No, I think they're going to keep it on Stephanie.
I don't. I reckon they'll put it on Nikki and then she'll have her final run.
No, Nikki it hasn't been on Stephanie long enough, I don't think.
Yeah, it'll be a short one, and then that brings it all the way up to Rumble next year.
Yeah, because
it'll be the rematch.
Stephanie's only defended, twice already? That's too quick to take it off of her, I'd say. All right, well, we're split on this one.
Split decision there.
I'm going Stephanie, he's going Nikki Bella.
This is her last run, so it makes sense for her to get it, and then within 6 months it's gone and she's gone. And
yeah, but she's not. The women's title is different to the Divas title that she held before. I'm not sure if they're going to put it on her that quick. Because, like I say, coming off of Stephanie that quick in a short feud, I'm not sure. Like I say, I think it's still going to stick on Stephanie.
Quick way for Nikki, because the feud's only been for a month or so. It's a quick way for her to get a championship. She gets 6 months or less than 6 months of defending it and loses it at Rumble next year, and then she's done.
I mean, fair.
And then she can have the surgery that she wants to have.
I'm still going to go with Stephanie being the one that comes, because they just don't seem to move the titles that quickly, if you know what I mean. And
we will see.
We've had title shifts as well, where Jade's only just come onto that title, Stephanie's only just come onto hers.
Well, see who wins by hitting the notification bell, so that when the podcast comes up next time, you'll be able to see which one of us was right.
And then, the one which I really don't know how to call, because it's John Cena versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
Oh, it'd be Dom that wins the title back, because what's John going to do, take it with him?
Well, no, it could be the thing that is an extra cherry on the Last Time Is Now tournament. Because...
so the very final, whoever wins the tournament and then
take a title.
Takes the Intercontinental.
Yeah, because you're meant to go out, and it's called going out on your back.
Yes.
So you're meant to lose your last match. I don't know whether they're going to get Cena to lose his last 2 matches, or whether it's kept on that. Because say we're right that Joe Hendry is Sheamus's replacement, and Joe Hendry wins the tournament to face John Cena. It would be quite the accolade.
That would be quite a twist, wouldn't it? Joe Hendry becomes the IOC.
Like the Intercontinental title holder on his first run as a main roster, because he's signed as well. That's the difference between him, Nick Namath, and Matt Cardona, is Joe Hendry's actually signed to WWE.
Yeah, because he's finished with AEW and stuff now.
And so you never know, I don't know, because you never know what, and Unreal proves that we could be there talking about this like it's predetermined, and they may decide 24 hours beforehand to completely flip the script on us and do something different.
It would be good, I think, if Dom got it back.
I mean, yes, but also he had quite a good run on that title.
Yeah.
I like him as a title holder, but if they put the IC back on him, then it means that it's longer before they can pull the trigger on him going up to World Heavyweight title. Because I saw another podcaster, just a wrestling pundit, as it were, saying that Dirty Dom is one of the few people that they could wake up one day and just go, yeah, we're going to put the title on him today. Because he's got the history, he's got the legacy, he's been in the sport for so long, and because he plays the grotty, mustachy, nasty heel, then yeah, he could steal a win and get the title. Because
it was good actually seeing Dom having a bit of a go with his own man in the match last week.
Exactly.
But then his old man could be teaming up with Penta to bring the boys back.
There's that. I also wonder because
the Lucha Boys, was it?
Yeah, is it the Lucha Boys? I think it is the Lucha Boys.
Penta
Lucha Brothers?
Yeah, something like that. Penta and
is it Ray Phoenix for that one? And then if they got Mysterio there as well, that's a hell of a team of luchadors.
And Dominic.
And Dominic as well.
Luchador wrestling is much more entertaining than normal wrestling, I think.
I think it's one of those, is when you have both, it really helps to have lucha alongside it. I think if you just watch the lucha events, then you're probably it's almost like you get too much of the same thing over and over. Whereas every match has high spots and flippy bits.
Yeah.
It would take away. Whereas I love the balance that the WWE now has, because it used to be, here's our token luchador and Rey Mysterio, and that's it, that's all you get. Whereas by being Penta in full-time Rey Phoenix, they are so well respected within just general worlds of wrestling. That's why they've had such a big push. But then, as you say, you noticed the thing that happened to Axiom, who's a luchador.
Yeah. And then you've got the Iguana.
Yeah, we've got those guys as well.
But that's because TKO have bought AAA, haven't they?
So well, now TKO has TNA, AAA, ROH, NXT, all being able to come under the banner of WWE, which is incredible, because rather than fighting the brands like it used to be, WWE has now gone, well, we're just going to take all of the independents and give them more money.
Yeah. And it's all you can watch it all on ESPN.
Yes. But let's not forget, got to still shout out AEWs. They're not as good as WWE on storylines, but if you're like our fan Jack, who flip-flops between whether he was watching WWE more often or AEW, is because Jack actually doesn't like the storylines as much as he likes the in-ring wrestling. And I do have
because they let blood.
I do have to agree that if you're of the right mindset, AEW is perfect because they don't spend their time worrying about the storylines. They spend their time worrying about choreographing brutally interesting matches.
Did you see the title match at the weekend?
I saw bits of it come online.
Absolutely drenched in blood, and it's just like
a red veil over the face.
Yeah.
So
like come out from a hardcore punk gig or something.
Whereas, again, quoting another person that watches us being Ollie, is like the whole point is to not have one company that does everything. Is the wrestlers support each other, the owners of the company are probably talking to each other more than we actually give them credit for, and that's why you have somebody like Andrade that every 6 months or so is like, I'm AEW, I'm WWE, I'm AEW, I'm WWE, because they can just trade between companies depending on what works best for them.
Except for WWE now slaps everyone with a 1 year no wrestle ban once you leave the company.
Not everyone, it depends on what contract you've had within it, because like, look at Karrion Kross. Karrion was fighting Matt Riddle on an independent. I don't know which independent, but watch Matt Riddle take one of Karrion's big boots to the face, and it looked brutal. So I think it's you can compete, but it's probably like a non-compete in America, which stops you being able to go to AEW, but you can then go to the Japanese independents or Ring of Honor and stuff like that. I don't know, because each contract would probably be a bit different, and it probably also is down to how you leave the company as well.
True.
So, like with Karrion, is we still to this day don't know whether this is some of the longest, most intelligent kayfabe, where it's like, leave the company, make it seem like we hate you, and then we're going to do you a storyline where you sneak yourself back in and all of this sort of stuff, because that's possible. Like, it could be complete bullshit, and it could just be the fact that Karrion, for some reason, wasn't seeing eye to eye with the creative team, because it's not just Triple H, it's an entire team. He may not be seeing eye to eye with them, which is why he's left the WWE and is on independence. Or it could be something that's, 6 months to 18 months of planning to make it seem like Karrion had fallen out and then wants to come back in. So who knows? Either way, we've got a call on every single match now, and we're not in agreement.
The overall winner will be
us.
and TKO.
And TKO, yes. Yeah. But no, I'm genuinely quite excited for this, especially with Saturday night's main event being so close around the corner as well. Because I didn't realise...
Following week, isn't it? Or 2 weeks later?
2 weeks. I didn't realise how emotional it was going to be being part of John Cena's final tour. Mostly because I was never one of those ones that cared much about Cena when he was... What the storylines keep saying is like he wasn't liked by fans. We booed him as much as we booed Roman at one point. But I love the fact that we finally got to see a little bit of heel action. That was awesome. But watching Cena also finally get the actual cheering off the universe and the in-person crowds that he always should have done, because he's always been a great wrestler that has only like 1 or 2 stories of not working with people and not raising people up, and even he says that was a bad era for me and I want to apologise for doing that. It's just been lovely to watch him actually get the accolades that he finally deserves for being the guy that carried the company from Attitude through Ruthless Aggression until we got basically Roman Reigns doing his run of like 1,000 days as champion that carry us through to Raw. Is from Attitude to like Raw on Netflix, there's 2 people that carry the company more so than anybody else, and that's John Cena and Roman Reigns. And so it's lovely to see Cena get cheered as much as Roman's now chanted for, because Roman, don't know how he managed to get from the guy that was booed more than Cena at points to being like so arrogant, like, we make the money, I am the best yet, but you're all just going to acknowledge me, and you're going to love this bit. And he's now the Roman Reigns that we see. But also don't believe that I saw something like Vince McMahon always dressed him like he was a superhero in the combat stuff, and now he's been told to wear a t-shirt. If you think that Roman Reigns is being told to do anything that Roman Reigns doesn't want to do, you're probably mistaken. Plus, you wear your own merch if you're a wrestler, because then it gets your sales up, it makes the company more money. And now that we don't have champions being paid more than main roster people, so that there is that equality.
Everyone gets the same pay now.
So that makes sense to wear your own merch most of the time, because you're trying to raise up the amount of money that your name is making in the company. Jesus, that was a lot of talking, but I love it. This has been one of my favourite ones. As Mike says, to make sure that you keep up, even if we got another themed one next week, we'll cover whether we're right
Next
or not.
week's our final album.
Final album club. But at the start, we are going to have to see whether we were right, because we agreed on the Wargames matches, and then we disagreed on the other ones. So we're going to see who's right, who wins overall, and
Dominicky. That's got a good ring to it.
Dominicky.
Dominicky.
It's better than John and Nikki, which is
Or
Total
Cenafi.
Divas. No, I can't dare combine.
Cenafi and Dominicky.
That sounds like an angel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Cenafi.
like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and then you can catch up with Album Club next week and who was right overall with Survivor Series match card.
This guy. Yeet.